Okay, my intention was to make a video to explain to you quite simply why the directors of Formula One management aren't in prison. But it's not just as easy as that. I'll try and make it as brief and as simple as possible, but it is quite difficult to follow. But we'll see how it goes. Right, Formula One management, they're registered with the Companies House here in the UK. You can find this information gov.uk. Just Google Formula One Management Limited and then go on to Companies House on the web page. It'll bring you to this. It'll give you a company type, nature of business. Now, the nature of business is interesting. Formula One management's nature of business is television program production activities, television program distribution activities, and other sports activities. Put the top of the list there, television program production activities. Formula One is concerned with television programming. Programming, yes. Programming minds and opinions. People. So, who are the people who are the directors of Formula One management? Now, what it does here gives you the list of officers and resignations. Okay. Now, uh, the current director is Adam Babica, but he only joined on the 20th of February. So he wasn't there at the time of the fraud. He's now part of this fraudulent organisation. And look at Adam's occupation here. He's a lawyer. You couldn't make it up, could you? Stefano Domenicali. So he is the president and the CEO. So he's current. And the third one is this guy, Duncan Francis Loarch. Okay, and he has been with F1 since the 4th of April 2007, and he is their chief financial officer. Now, if we scroll down, the woman who was in position in 2021, I think it's near the bottom here. I might be wrong. Here she is, Sasha Jane Woodward Hill. Occupation, lawyer. There's fucking loads of them. All right. She was appointed 24th of March 2006, resigned on the 19th of September 2024. So she was a director of Formula One management at the time of the 2021 fraud. And that's a lawyer. Look at all these different ones. Occupation, lawyer, occupation, banker, director, the banker's solicitor, all these solicitor, these previous directors of within the Formula One organisation. They're solicitors, they're bankers, they're directors, investment manager, banker, consultant, banker, manager, banker, investment director, lawyer. This is the credentials that you've got to be part of Formula One management. Now you can follow lots of different things on these. You can go down lots of different rabbit holes with these sorts of things. But just look at a couple of things here. If I can go to which one? We'll go to him first. If you click on this guy, who is one of the current directors, got total number of appointments 33. So this is where he's been listed with Companies House. His roles: director active, director dissolved, director active. This is another supposed company, Formula One Promotions and Administrations Limited. Formula One Marketing 2 Limited is the active director of that one. Formula One World Travel Limited is the active director of that. Formula One World Championship Limited is the active director of that. Formula One Administration Limited is the active director of that. Why have you got so many different companies? Are these for tax purposes? Do some of them operate in the UK and some of them offshore tax havens? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Formula One management and all your subsidiary companies. Beta D4 Limited dissolved. Alpha D4 Limited dissolved. Formula One Productions Limited, active director. Formula1.com Limited, active director. GP2 Trademarks Limited, dissolved. Number 2, St James's Market. It's the same address though, isn't it? GP2 Trademarks Limited, dissolved. Lowark Real Estate, dissolved. Lowark Real Estate, dissolved. Formula One Motorsports Limited, active director. Formula One Management Limited, active director. Alpha D2 Limited, same address, dissolved. Beta Holdings Limited, same address as Formula One Management, active director. Delta 3 is the active director of that one. Delta 3 UK Limited, number 2, St James, that's still the same address as Formula One Management. Hickory Limited, dissolved. Formula One Research, Engineering and Development, active director. What's going on with all this? Formula One Marketing Limited, active director. Hoptree Limited, dissolved. Holdtree Limited, dissolved. Howtree Limited, dissolved. What's going on with all this? Alpha Prima UK Limited, active. So he's the active director of Alpha Prima UK Limited, and they're from number 2 St James's Market, London as well. Same address as Formula One Management. Formula One Limited is the active director of. Formula One Publishing Limited, active director of. Formula Motorsport Limited, active. He's resigned as a secretary as that. This is, yeah, what's going on with all this? What's going on? We actually need a forensic investigator to have a look into all of these companies, really, to see what's actually going on there. Now, if you remember some of the names of these companies that he was associated with, and then we come down back to Sasha. She's had a total number of appointments of 40. So if we have a look at this one, Liberty GR Acquisition Company, she was the director, dissolved. Posse Family Investments, director, she's active there, 71 Queen Victoria Street, London. GP2 Motorsports, dissolved. Alpha D2, dissolved. These are all at this number 2 St James's Market. Race Car Engineering Limited, the same address, dissolved. What's going on? Sporting and Technical Services Limited, 6 Princes Gate, dissolved. So we've seen that 6 Princes Gate, Knightsbridge before as well, haven't we? GP2 Trademarks Limited, number 2. Okay, so Hoptree, this is the 6 Princes Gate. Hoptree, we've seen that one before by the other guy, dissolved. Holdtree, 6 Princes Gate, dissolved. Howtree, 6 Princes Gate, dissolved. And then it's all these ones that she was with Formula One as well. Formula One World Travel, resigned. Formula One Productions, Formula1.com, Formula One Limited. So she's resigned, roles of secretary. Liberty GR Hold Company, Formula One Research, Beta Holdings, St James's, Delta 3, number 2 St James's, Formula One Motorsports, Formula One Digital Media, Formula One Hospitality and Event Services, Formula One Marketing 2, Formula One Marketing, the sequel, Formula One Management Limited, Formula One World Championship Limited, Alpha Prima UK Limited, Formula One Administration Limited, Hoptree Limited, 7 Clive Court, this one. Formula One Management Limited, Howtree Limited, this one's 7 Clive Court. Anyway, you can, I think, generally, if you're not trying to hide things, you're not trying to leave a woven trail of deception behind you, but this is how our country operates. We've got lots of different ways that you can hide things and layer things, isn't it? Doesn't seem quite right, does it? Doesn't seem quite right. Ultimately, you can do a bit more research into this woman here. You can find out about her, or Sasha Jane Woodward Hill. You can find out about her on Autosport. F1 Chief Legal Officer Woodward Hill to leave. Long-serving. So this is Jonathan Noble. Published on the 21st of September 2024. She's to leave. Gives us a nice picture of the Haas motorhome there. Thanks for that. Formula One's long-serving Chief Legal Officer Sasha Woodward Hill is leaving the organisation. Still a practicing solicitor, she was originally recruited to join F1 back in 1996. Okay, so this is what Autosport says. On the Law Society, find the solicitor pages. What does it say about her on that? That says solicitor, non-practicing, admitted as a solicitor in 1993. Main roles not specified. Solicitor non-practicing. This person is a solicitor but does not hold a current practicing certificate and is not otherwise exempt. So they are not allowed to practice law in England and Wales as a solicitor. Oh, so that's what it says here on the Law Society pages. But on Autosport, there you go, still a practicing solicitor. Let me know what you think in the comments section as to who's telling the truth or not. Who knows? Who knows? Ultimately, we can get to this. We can get to Formula One World Championship Limited strategic report, directors' report, and financial statements for the year that ended the 31st of December 2021. 250-page document where it's signed off by the directors. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to list them up here. It's got the glossary of here. Delta Topco Limited, parent company of Formula One. FOM, Formula One Management Limited, a Formula One subsidiary. Falk, right, SLEC Holdings Limited, a Formula One subsidiary. Okay, so SLEC, we need to work out what that all is, okay? And then we've got all the other abbreviations. International Financial Reporting Standard, Grand Prix. So, directors, Mr. D. Lowarch and Miss S. Woodward Hill. Okay. So, and it's audited as well by KPMG LLP. Okay. Anyway, you can go through that 250 pages, have a read. It tells you there that they're actively trying to sell to the kiddies. They're actively seeking out kiddies as their audience. It says it in this 250 page report submitted, which you can download yourself from here. Formula One World Championship Limited on Company's House here .gov, and you've got the filing history, and you can find that all out on there. You can just go down here to the full accounts that were submitted on the 23rd of May 2022, made up to the 31st of December 2021. Down, it's actually 259 pages long. But they list in there that they are actively trying to market the show to the children. That's what Formula One seeks to do. It also has got a section in fraud about there. It's interesting, very interesting. They've identified where there's a risk of fraud, and they're confident there is no risk of fraud. Okay. Well, let's have a look. What's fraud? One of these, we'll say it here. I've preloaded the tabs, and then I found some more. What's this one? Match fixing, gambling in sport. Here it is. Fraud. Fraud is an intentionally deceptive action designed to provide the perpetrator with an unlawful gain or to deny a right to a victim. It can be committed either online, in person, or via correspondence. Fraud is generally committed through the use of false statements, misrepresentation, or dishonest conduct intended to mislead or deceive. Types of fraud include tax fraud, credit card fraud, wire fraud, securities fraud, and bankruptcy fraud. Okay, it can also be sport fixing, result manipulation. That is a type of fraud as well. This is just the AI generated answer to the question there. So, I mean, you could argue that one of the things you'd be looking to do when you're committing a fraud would be to make money. And obviously, the year after the pandemic, F1 was recovering, as they make many references to in this statement of their earnings. And the 2020 income was this in millions of dollars, and compared to the 2021 income of this in millions of dollars. And that was due to the way that the things were improving. The 78% change in 2021. And they talk about the 2021 Concord Agreement that all of the teams have signed, which is a different allocation of the prize money as a reflection of the revenue generated by the show that all of the teams signed up to in 2021. So the teams signed up to the new Concord Agreement in 2021, which give them a share of the profits and the prize money is allocated relative to how much money the show makes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's beneficial to them all, isn't it, to create the spectacle, to make the money. There's no motive there. That's don't let any lawyer convince you that that's a motive. Lawyers, or you might get one lawyer that might argue it's a motive, and another lawyer would say, no, of course not. That's nobody would use that as a motive, would they? No, you could. No, we're all people of integrity. We wouldn't go fixing things for more money to excite the kiddies, to make our show, exploit the marketing opportunities, to exploit the vulnerable, to make more money. No, we wouldn't do that, would we? We've done our fraud checks, and that's not something that could be exploited. We've identified that in our fraud report. Have a read. Have a read. Anyway, I was as part of making this. One of the reasons that I was making this was because Andrew Benson from the BBC produced this article, Domenicali to tell Starmer how vital F1 is to the UK. Hence, don't investigate us for fraud. So, who's pulling Starmer's strings? Because Domenicali basically has gone to the puppet and gone, right, F1's vital to the UK, so don't. You've got to overlook our fraud. That's what Domenicali is essentially saying. Okay, didn't say it in the same way. They don't need to. They know the crack. All right, we've got the UK Serious Fraud Office. Here they are. Look, they don't investigate the not the sport of Formula One. Okay, latest news. What we do, what the Serious Fraud Office do. The Serious Fraud Office fights complex financial crime, delivers justice for victims, oh yeah, and protects the UK's reputation as a safe place to do business. The Serious Fraud Office is a non-ministerial department. Okay, read more about what we do. Let's have a read about what they do. The Serious Fraud Office fights complex financial crime, delivers justice for victims, and protects the UK's reputation as a safe place to do business. We are part of the UK criminal justice system covering England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, but not Scotland. What is that then? The Isle of Man or the Channel Islands? Why do you have all these different tax havens? It's all a bit weird, although Scotland's not. But what? Don't worry about that. We take on a small number of large economic crime cases, just a small number of large economic. The director may investigate any suspected offence which appears to him on reasonable grounds to involve serious or complex fraud, bribery, or corruption. In considering whether to authorise an investigation, the director will take into account the actual or intended harm that may be caused to the public or the reputation and integrity of the UK as an international financial centre, or the economy and prosperity of the United Kingdom. So the UK Serious Fraud Office will determine whether or not it's going to investigate a fraud, depending on how it's going to impact the UK economy and prosperity of the UK. And Domenicali is warning Starmer how vital F1 is to the UK. Formula One President Stefano Domenicali will meet Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Wednesday to emphasise the importance of the sport to the United Kingdom's economy. Domenicali, who is meeting Sir Keir. Sir Keir, who's pulling your strings? Sir Keir. Is it those with the billions going, oi, you'll do it this way. You'll do it this way, Prime Minister. Otherwise, we're in control of the money. See, our governments, those people that we elect to effectively manage our country for the people, to run our country, to make sure our country is ran in a manner that meets the people's needs and that services provides all the correct infrastructure and the correct services that societies need. Yeah, that's what we elect a government for. That's what we pay tax for. No, who controls those governments? Big businesses. Big businesses. You'll do what we tell you to do. Otherwise, we'll move to somewhere else and you'll lose all of the revenue that comes your way from our business. They've got governments over a barrel. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. You'll do it the way we want it done. Otherwise, all we need to do is invent a problem that's going to put up energy prices for everybody this winter. Oh, and everybody's fucked, aren't they? And everybody's complaining about the living standards going down, and nobody's going to vote for your government next time there's a general election. So you'll do what we tell you to do, Mr. Puppet Starmer. So, Domenicali, who's meeting Sir Keir at 10 Downing Street, along with several drivers and team principals as part of an event to mark the 75th anniversary of F1, described the UK as the heart and rock and roll of this business. Unbelievable. The Italian will raise some of the logistical issues faced by F1 as a result of the restrictions imposed on travel by Brexit, whilst painting the sport as an industry essential to the UK. That's right. Brexit, to give us control back to ourselves that we didn't have. Well, that's right, we want to control our own borders and all these boats coming across the channel, don't we? Because we've done that, haven't we? Yeah, not that that was really the problem anyway. It was always corruption, okay? That was a problem that was identified that people were concerned about 20 or 30 years ago, and nobody ever did anything. But at times of elections, they go, oh, yeah, we're going to sort that out. Vote for us, we'll sort. Nobody does anything that the people are concerned about. But what they'll do, they'll incite people over that, telling people, oh, the reason that you're not getting the right amount of health care, or the reason that all these problems, there's a decline in your living standards, is these people coming across the channel. They're the people that are ruining your lives. Look at them. Look at them. They're the people that are ruining your lives, everybody. And so people are like, yeah, stop them boats, stop the boats, stop the boats. Yeah, it's them that's ruining our lives. Yes, that's what the mind conditioning machine gets you to believe. Who's really ruining your life? Well, it's not ruining your life, it's just keeping you in this suppressed state. You look at the UK infrastructure, it's declined. Over the past 40 years, it's declined. The National Health Service was better 15 years ago than it is now. How many roads do you know have been resurfaced in the last 30 years? Where has there been new infrastructure built? What's happening? But how many people have become billionaires? You've been paying your taxes for this country to keep pace with the evolution of life and society. But the infrastructure's gone backwards. The services have gone backwards. The services aren't fit for purpose. But we've got lots of billionaires, haven't we? Who's making policies to benefit them? Who's actually making policies and managing the country's affairs to benefit the people? Well, it's not government, is it? So who's managing the government? Anyway, for the first time, we're going to have this opportunity to present the F1 ecosystem. The F1 ecosystem, everybody. Oh, sustainability. Oh, yes, everybody. Oh, bullshit. Domenicali said it's important to remind everybody how this country is really the heart and rock and roll of this business. Thank you. But he's painting the sport as an essential industry to the UK, yes. Because everything started here in 1950, the first race, and the offices of this business are here in the centre of London. The vast majority of the teams and the ecosystem is here in the UK. Domenicali said that the F1 industry is worth £12 billion annually to the UK. Did you hear that, Kia? Is this how the discussion went, Kia? Kia, this is worth 12 billion to the UK economy. It employs 6,000 people and has a supply chain involving 4,500 companies. Yeah. So, are you going to investigate us for fraud, Kia? Because if you do, that is going to be lost to your economy. 12 billion. What are you going to do, Kia? Nothing. Yeah, didn't think so. Human rights lawyer, aren't you, Kia? Yeah? Human rights, protecting humans from being abused by billionaire companies defrauding them. Is that what your job is, Kia? Is that what your job was, Kia, before you became the puppet in number 10? Is that what it is, Kia? So you stood up for human rights for a period of time while that paid you enough money to do that. Now you're taking your money and you're actually just benefiting those that come to you with how they want to be benefited, and you go, okay, that's fine. We won't. We won't. We won't. We won't do this. We take on a small number of large economic crime cases. The director may investigate any suspected offence which appears to him on reasonable grounds to involve serious or complex fraud, bribery, or corruption. In considering whether to authorise an investigation, the director will take into account the actual or intended harm caused to the public or the reputation integrity as to the UK. Of the UK as an international financial centre. Oh yeah, if you've got a reputation of actually imprisoning fraudulent activity, then maybe some of these fraudulent businesses don't want to operate here. You know that those businesses, investment banking, all of we're all winners. We'll invest. Everybody, give your money to us. We'll invest. Oh, remember that some investments can go down. Sorry, you lost. We did all right out of it though. We paid ourselves handsomely, but that's just the nature of investment banking. In your trading den. Don't worry about that though. The economy and the prosperity of the UK. Are you going to set the UK Serious Fraud Office onto us, Kia? 7 of the 10 teams are based in the UK, and 10 of the 11 teams that will be in F1 next year when Cadillac enters will have bases in the country, Kia. Yeah, you made it difficult for us with Brexit, Kia. So, yeah, who's holding the gun to your head, Kia? Who's actually saying to the UK Prime Minister who needs who more? Yeah, that was a lovely meeting, wasn't it, Stefano? Lovely meeting. Is this how they do it over in Sicily? Who knows? Who knows, Domenicali? Anyway, this is how things are ran. Gangsters. Okay, it's but legally they're not gangsters. They're not like gangsters. They're lawyers. They're lawyers. They're mercenaries. They will find a legal argument That's okay. That's authentic. That's authentic. I mean, me, I just drill things down to the simplicity of the situation, which is just that. You know, fraud. Yeah, fraud. We don't need to have a legal argument over it with all of your lawyers, Formula One, right? All of your lawyers that became your directors. Fraud. There it is. Look, is an intentionally deceptive action designed to provide the perpetrator with an unlawful gain or to deny a right to a victim. Well, the victim, providing it was authentic, there was a victim that was robbed of a record breaking achievement in a global sport, if that's what it is. I mean, you do tell us on your company's house that actually your primary objective is making TV programs, programming the minds of people, um, and you intentionally deceive people because your primary objective is making the program, isn't it? And you made that program. You're the people that own F1 TV, aren't you? Yeah. So you're the people that cut and paste each and every camera bit of footage to construct the global feed that you feed to us as your TV program, creating the narrative that you want us to believe is happening on that track. Oh, what's going on now? You're the people that interject with the radio messages to make us believe it to be the certain way. Then ones that you pick and choose, creating your narrative. Must be this lap, Nicholas Latifi. You didn't play us that one. Must be this lap, Nicholas. You didn't play us that one. That one exists. Um, Fernando Alonso's. Well, you did play a little bit of that, but out of context, making it look like the drivers were thinking, "What's this race director doing? Not unlapping the cars. What's he doing now? It's crazy. It's all confusing." No, because actually, when Fernando said it, we must unlap now to get this job done. What's this job, Fernando? The second time he passes the safety car. Sorry, not the safety car. Nicholas Latifi's crash car with the car on the track, and Fernando's going, "Well, we've got to unlap now to get the job done." When have you unlapped before when there's a car on track, Fernando Alonso? Now the longest serving person in the sport, the most experienced driver. Tell us, Fernando, when was the last time you unlapped? Okay, unlapped in a safety car situation with a car still being there on the track. But we've got to do it now to get this job done, Alonso. Yeah, yeah. But you've got your commentators, Brundle and Crofty. Oh, how there's bound to be a couple. There's bound to be a couple. And if they do, will they let the lap runners through? It's not mandatory, but that's usually on a wet day. And if they do, how long will they wait? Well, you gave us that 3 times, because I think the safety car will come in at the end of this lap, and there will be one racing lap. And it's ending, and it's ending. Wow. You've identified all your risks for fraud, haven't you, Formula One management? You've identified all that. Christian Horner. Yeah, I think we're going to need some help from the racing gods. A miracle. That was a miracle, wasn't it? What's the probability of that? Have you done a probability calculation with your financial experts and your auditors? You know, have you done all that, Formula One management? Or have you just conducted a fraudulent report, Formula One management, that's not going to be investigated by the Serious Fraud Office because of the impact it could have on the UK economy? Funny that, isn't it? Funny how it all works. Are you seeing how this all works, people? Corrupt businesses can get away with corruption because they actually control governments. And the governments will make sure that these agencies don't hold these people to account. They'll hold you and me to account. Yeah, you do something wrong, you'll go to prison. Formula One does something wrong, they're the ones that threaten the government. That's the dynamics of power that we're living with in this world. That's exactly what's going on. But they've perpetrated a fraud. They then, we've got the FIA stewards. That was entirely fraudulent. They sent a lawyer in there to make it appear authentic. Oh, and if a Queen's Counsel barrister can't overturn this in the steward's appeal, where the barrister is appealing to a Honda car dealership owner, because that's like a court of law, isn't it? Um, and if the barrister can't do it, then there's nobody that can. Nobody else would be able to understand it better than him, so don't you worry, little heads. All these lawyers, let the lawyers decide amongst themselves how to work this out. They'll keep arguing over it, and it'll cost a lot of money for these lawyers to argue over it, and then you'll forget about it, won't you? Or they'll come to some sort of financial agreement between themselves. Just like the post office scandal, where the UK government owned at that point in time body, which was the post office, absolutely screwed people over, screwed innocent people over, and they had the legal argument over it. Okay, even though they categorically screwed people over, but they had the legal argument over it. What was the final settlement there? Agreed in a negotiation. What was it, about 56 million? Of which, what was the legal bill? All the lawyers and their funders, they got about 40 odd million of that, didn't they? The people impacted got a share of the remaining 12 million or something. They got about 20 odd grand each. But the lawyers did all right out of it, didn't they? That's the way the legal game works, everybody. The legal game. Anyway, don't you worry, little heads, about that. Like I said, this article by Andrew Benson is quite long-winded, but 500,000 fans expected at the British Grand Prix. And let's think about what really happens at this. It's not just the 500,000 fans, which is good for the economy. Okay, Silverstone charging what, a couple of £100 a ticket to watch the Grand Prix for each and every person that goes through the. Probably not as much as that for the Friday and Saturday sessions, but let's say it's £200 a ticket, because some are even more than that. It's all the corporate stuff as well. How many people, corporate businesses, buy packages there and then entertain guests, entertain prospective customers? Oh, we'll invite you to our box, to our event at the British Grand Prix, and we'll give you a meal and lots of alcohol, and then we'll get you to sign some contracts so that you'll buy our shit off us. Oh yeah, lots of trade deals are done at these kind of events. So this is the kind of thing that is the UK economy sees as valuable. Keeps the smooth brains happy, keeps the happy clappers there cheering, waving their flags. That's the circus and the bread that they get to keep the masses entertained. So that works. That works too. But they want to tell the UK how it needs to operate that. The plan in case the war affects the season finale. Yeah, war is all a plan as well. Yeah, they keep people under duress. We have got laws about that. Lawyers should know what the law is regarding wars, and we should have, again, global enforcement such as United Nations that stop massacres, stop genocides, but they don't. There are international laws which define what a genocide is, and can then impose sanctions, but they don't. Oh, but don't you worry your little heads about that. That's only a lawyer would know. They could have a legal argument. I mean, we can see on the television what devastation is taking place. We can see the reports of who's being slaughtered, but the lawyers will need to determine what needs to be done about that. It's a legal thing that would. Oh, they'll make a bit of money out of it as well. They'll do all right out of it, out of people dying. Don't you worry about that. That's the law, everybody. And yeah, war is a plan, because again, people are making money out of that. Weapons manufacturers, they're doing rather well. They're doing rather well. Oh, that's good for the UK economy, isn't it? The UK economy, supplying uh, fighter jet parts to the international market. No, no, we're a country of integrity. We're the United Kingdom. We wouldn't supply arms to Israel. We'll only sell them to the international market. We don't know where they end up. No, no, no. We're a country of integrity. We're the United Kingdom. We don't know about anything like that. I'd just like to finally sign off by saying that I I do not um, support the terrorist organisation Palestine Action. Okay, because they're a terrorist organisation, an organisation that is campaigning against the genocide taking place in Palestine. Um, but I also don't support the terrorist organisation Palestine in Action, the UK government being Palestine in action, doing nothing, seeing a genocide and just doing nothing. Thank you for your time.